Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me here at the Galaxy with God Love Notes. Of course, I really want to thank you all, my new and my returning subscribers, for all your energies here. Now, I'm going to be doing a general reading, but my new and my returning subscribers, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your interaction with the channel. What do I need to see? What do I need to know? You or someone else that was in your energy, a very close bond, a family member, could have regretted something that they did to you. Whatever this was, they don't want for you to know how deep their regret is. They even want to send you a message. You could be dreaming of this person because they're sending telepathic messages to you, maybe even in your dreams. However, you, for some reason, had to take a detour because you were divinely guided to do so. Your fate was changed because something happened between you and someone, and they're coming out as your twin flames. They have many secrets, and the final decision was made, maybe by you, to make a divine detour. So this person was in their dark side, or they could be hiding exactly who they are and what their intentions are or were. So you walked away. You've seen something clearly for exactly what it is. I have epiphany. So you could have gotten through a really hard time breaking free from whatever mental slavery, bondage that was having you hostage at one point. Now you're seeing things differently because you're seeing things from your higher self. You are now activated. You're seeing life, light, people the way you're supposed to see them. You're not looking at them through that rose colored glasses anymore, but seeing things clearly now. Vanity and pride. So I'm not sure if this is you, vanity and pride and ego. Whatever ego you had or have, this has to go through the door with your higher self being activated. Whatever low vibration you have to leave all that behind, or this could be someone else. They're asked to leave their old ways behind because you are now in your north node. So you have left that old cycle, old mindset, religion, people, situation. You've left this all behind because you are on a different mission. You are called to do something with your higher self activation. You're called to be a better version of who you used to be. With this divine detour, this is feeling as if divine has actually guided you from a path towards where you're supposed to be going. I have until death do us part. So you had to leave something. You have to put a death to something or someone, not literally, but a death to a relationship. You just got to move on because that's no longer aligned with the path that God has for you. You have to balance your energy now. Yeah, divine feminine. You're now more intuitive than you used to be. You're now using your intuition. Higher self activation. You have gone through an epiphany. So whatever you believe until death do us part, you just possibly had to leave it behind because you realize that this was not going to take you where your higher self wants to go. Anything else? This fell on karma. Yeah, so you're now karma and balance justice. So your justice is to balance yourself, find yourself a solid foundation. This could be within you or whatever you're trying to build. So you could be getting a lot of messages, or someone wants to travel to you or send messages to you. What's this message? Okay, someone wants to send a message to you because they are attracted to you. Yeah, but they're feeling rejected by you, or this is how they make you feel. What's this rejection? Divine masculine. So whoever this divine masculine is, or your twin, or your friend, or family member, they are missing you. But if you're not reaching out to this person, they're not reaching out either, because whatever mirror you're reflecting at this person, they're doing the same thing to you. So if you don't want to call, they're not calling either. So it's the same energy that you are pushing out into the universe, they're actually receiving it. And they could even be afraid to come forward because you're afraid of rejection. Self care and unity. So you could be balancing yourself, trying to find peace where there is not much. You could be loving yourself and trying to be at peace with whatever situation this might be. Learning how not to be codependent on things or people or even situations that could have had you in your head, not able to sleep with the message on the dream card, not able to sleep. You're only having nightmares about these things or people or situation. But now you're guided away again. I have ancestor guides. You're being guided to do something by yourself, leaving a family behind, a commitment, whatever you considered this was as a long term investment, you were guided away from it. Why was collective guided away from this? Yes, you were guided to take a leap of faith, to open a new opportunity for self. You have a gift. You have a gift. And if you were sitting in a negative mindset, sitting among negative people, people who is not conducive to growth, they are going to hold you back. So this feels as if the divine actually took you from this environment or these set of people for you to be able to celebrate, because they want to give you a gift. But if you give someone, say, $100, and they don't even know the value of some whatever they have, they're not going to use it wisely. So you being taken from these people or this situation, you are now able to see what your abundance are. They would even be draining you of what you're given by God. But now you have set yourself free. You are set free. God set you free because you were able to move away. So you were offered a gift, as I mentioned before. I didn't even see this card, the next card behind. You were offered a gift. Hmm. What was this gift? Whatever you're working on, you're going to be abundant. Whatever you're working towards, it's going to be a success. You're going to be offered a new possibility, a new gift, even a partner. You're going to be gifted something that you might not even know was coming. Anything else? You know, as simple as this might be, this gift that you might be offered is a new gift of self worth, knowing who you are, knowing what to expect from self and others, knowing what never to settle for, knowing who to walk away from, when to walk away, and not regretting, because sometimes we're holding on to things or people or situation who is long gone. The person you knew 15, 20 years ago, they're no longer in that energy. They're no longer who you knew them to be. So sometimes we're holding on for dear life to something that is no longer conducive to our own well being or growth. So God had sometime had to step in and take us away from whatever we're holding on for dear life. Because all that they're going to be doing to us is take the life force out of us. So God said, you know what? For you to grow, I have to separate you from whatever is tying you down. So whatever you're going to be getting as an offer, it feels to me like if self love, self worth, expectation, intention, and creation. So what once you let go of negative things, people, situations surrounding, you are going to be creative because whatever this was, they were holding you back. And you might not have known the depth of how your blessings was stifled by things or people that is supposed to be there for your growth, but you were just there growing and helping them to grow while they were ciphering your energy. All right, final cards have transformation. So it is time for you to transform, to change this old situation, looking at life the way it is and not how you think it's supposed to be. You are seeing things in a different light. You have been transformed by the by your mind. You have a different mindset. What is this transformation? Yeah. So this transformation came about as a result of you leaving things, people, situation behind that's no longer serving you. Anyways, someone is still longing for you, whatever longing might mean, but they're still in doubt as to how to come forward. They're in doubt because they're lacking confidence as how to come forward towards you because they know you're the divine feminine, you are the high priestess. You are able to see through the facade. You're no longer gullible, being able to be manipulated as you used to. The fact that you have seen things, life, people differently, there no one is able to take you for a loop as they used to. I have growth. So the summer could be of importance where you need to step out into a brighter future for yourself, for your higher self. You need to move forward into, whatever God has for you. I take four more cards. What are the final messages? Spirit? Yeah, so you have to remove that facade. Facade is here and belief. Whatever belief system that had you bound at one point, you're no longer bound by it. All right, so let's see what's here. Yeah. So whatever this was, for you, it was a really harsh moment. It feels like an unexpected storm, a storm that was never announced, but you had to undergo for you to overcome. There was a lot of confusion, illusion, delusions, but it feels as if you had given so much of yourself, time, energy, even resources, and you weren't given equally. You possibly were the one pouring into an empty basket. I mean, into a basket that has a hole holes all the way around it. You were pouring yourself out for things or people, seeing things through because you have a big heart. You see things or people very positive in a very positive light, while they look at you as being naive or simple, not seeing who they are. But you now are able to see. So you're packing your things and you're moving on. You're leaving, no longer in that mindset, wanting even to fix things that you didn't even break. You were the one trying to build, and someone was tearing you apart. Yeah, you now leave that comfort zone wherever this was, something that was familiar to you, something you have grown years in, and believing yes, it is where it is supposed to be. God says no. You are needing to build self. The time you spend building other people is now time for you. Time to see yourself through the eyes of, how do I say it? It's time to see yourself just like how you look at others. You're being given all your life to people who never even appreciate what you're doing or appreciate you. But now it's your time to receive. It's your time to celebrate. It's your time to get your offer. All the offerings you've been given is now going to be multiplied back to you where you can be benefited. All right, I have detachment and I have cold. This feels as if you being detaching from things or people or situation, you're being looked at as being very cold, maybe even heartless, but you have a heart. You are kind, you're loving, you're everything like that. But from the end of the other person who is now in regret whatever they did and how they treated you. This reading is not about even anybody else. It's just someone regretting the fact that they didn't maybe show up for you, even though there was a bond, there was a commitment, there was a family, something that was supposed to grow. But beyond this, the old moral of the story is someone is regretting the fact that they have not shown you the best version of themselves. Now you're able to move on, growing, flourishing, and all they're left with is just a memory and wanting to contact you in your dream, but you're no longer asleep, so you will not dream the dream that they want to send over to you. And because of doubt and lack of confidence, they're not even able to come to you in the 3D. They're trying to reach out to you in the 5D, but you are all you are all aware of these strategies because you're coming up as activated, the divine feminine. So you've seen things clearly, very intuitive, and this is why this person may be wanting to stay away because they don't know how much you know. Someone is trying to even hide something. They wish for sometimes. They wish sometimes they're not making the move or taking the move that they made against you. Because when they look at you, they see you growing, they see you flourishing, they see you taking a leap of faith into the unknown, getting a new opportunity to start yourself all over again, working on self love. So the love you poured into others, and they were like baskets. You keep pouring, and it just keeps leaking while you're emptying your vessel, giving to others who never even appreciate you. Now is your time to receive. It is your time to shine. It is your time. I have divine intervention here. So God has stepped in all your life, all your years. You may be trying to please people, being a people pleaser, but now you realize your worth. And this transformation came about for you personally to know your worth, your self worth, grow your own self esteem. Self esteem is now what you have, loving self more than anything else. So once you love yourself, you're able to love others, but you are pouring into others and leaving yourself behind. This reminds me of, when I was younger, my mother cooked. She shared everybody's food. Everybody has a lot, and then she will just sit by herself with a little dish because there's none left for her. She shared herself out every time. She never made an error by sharing her food equally as everyone else. She shared herself out. So no, God says no. Your time is now where you are going to share equally for everybody, including yourself, because you are also important. So, collective, thank you so much again for joining me here at the Galaxy with God Love Notes. I'm gonna take one more. What do I need to say? One card. Thank you. This card says, kindness creates change. Every act of kindness shifts something somewhere, be the reason someone feels hope again. So, kindness creates change. Be kind to yourself, love yourself, so you can love others. You keep on loving others than yourself, but be kind to you so you're able to replenish your entire being so you can help others. That is basically what this card is saying to me. So, collective, thanks again for joining me here. Have a good night, and I'll see you in my next reading. Thanks. Goodbye.